Apple did it. They're worth $1 trillion of market cap. So they're worth $1 trillion, but that doesn't mean they have $1 trillion. That's just what they're worth. Essentially what that means is the price of the share is multiplied by the number of shares that are available to purchase, and that number is 1 trillion. There, that's your little stock tip for the day. I did go to business school, which makes me an expert on this topic and on the situation. So, what does Apple hitting $1 trillion in market cap mean for the rest of the tech industry, and how can they do what Apple has done and succeed the way Apple has? I'm Scott with Techno Eclipse, and I will see you after the intro. So $1 trillion, to put that in perspective, that is 1 trillion and 1 minus 1. I know that is like, it's like, oh man, 1 trillion is like so big, and then you go, it's 1 trillion and 1 minus 1, and you're like, I get it now. No, $1 trillion is a crazy amount. I believe it's 1, and then it goes 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 12 zeros. That's a crazy amount. It's amazing. First company to hit a $1 trillion market cap. There are other companies coming up right behind Apple, but Apple is the first one to do it, and I'm kind of happy. I'm happy Apple did it. So how do I think Apple did it, and how can other companies copy what Apple has done? Well, Apple is thought of as a premium brand, and stock price doesn't necessarily correlate to products 100% of the time. And what do I mean by that? Again, I'm not a stock expert, but these are just my thoughts on it. So Apple doesn't have $1 trillion in the bank. They're just worth $1 trillion. So people on the stock market, if you buy and sell shares of Apple, you are willing to pay this much money for one share of an Apple stock. And again, there are that many shares times that dollar equals 1 trillion. That's what market cap is. So how do I think Apple got there? Well, I think the fact that Apple sells every product you would ever need in the tech space, I guess. So when you think of tech products in 2018, what's the first thing that comes to mind? And the most important thing that comes to mind? The first one's phone. They sell that. The next one's probably a computer, a laptop or desktop. They sell that. The next one probably be a tablet. They sell that. And then more recently, I would say a speaker with an assistant on it. And they do sell that, the HomePod, albeit it's really expensive, but it's there. And then the next most important one I would probably say is a watch. And again, they sell that. There aren't many products that Apple doesn't sell that people want to buy. And I think the reason Apple has been so successful is because they incorporate all of those products together. The Apple Watch makes the Mac experience better. You might not ever think that, but the Apple Watch makes the Mac experience better. If you have an unlocked Apple Watch and you're logged in with the same iCloud on both, and you open your Mac, you don't have to type in a password. It'll unlock it with the watch. Awesome feature. It makes the Mac better. What else? Let's say the iPhone. How does that make the iPad better? Well, the iPhone is the messaging platform, right? Everything goes through that. That has a SIM card, and if you want to send a message through there, it has to go through the iPhone with that SIM card. So, what does that mean? How does the iPad get better because of that? Well, the iPad can text people, not just with iMessage, which is a data-based or Wi-Fi-based messaging platform. It can also send green messages, which are SMS messages, essentially sending messages to people that are not using iPhones or are using iPhones that have iMessage turned off. Every one of their products makes the other product better, and I think that's why Apple has become so successful and it's become so valuable. You need to look at it not just as one product, the iPhone or the Mac or the iMac Pro or the Mac Pro. They're not just one product. Albeit most of their value comes from one product, the iPhone, but the fact that they have been able to build an entire company around one product, but selling 100 other products, 100 different other variations of products, is what makes Apple so special. So, for example, let's look at Microsoft, another huge player in like the tech space, right? They sell software, something that Apple sells. They don't sell phones. They do sell applications to go on phones, but they don't have that optimization again between their phones and their computers. They don't sell watches. They don't have that same optimization. They do sell tablets. I don't believe they sell smart speakers. So they don't have that whole experience all wrapped up into one. Let's look at another big tech giant. Let's say Google. Google has a smart speaker. Google has a phone. Google has tablets. And Google has computers. And I don't believe Google has a watch. But how does their computer make their phone better? It just doesn't. Their computer uses Android. It can run Android-based apps on it. But it doesn't make their phone experience better. Having a Chromebook does not make having a Pixel a better experience. It's just like, oh, these are both made by Google, and they both have the Google Cloud. Might be your difference between the two and how they actually make each other better. But you can get Google Photos on any device. Samsung, Apple, Lenovo, Microsoft, I mean, whoever makes it, you can get the Google suite of apps available on it. Let's look at another company, Samsung. They sell everything that Apple sells. They're going to be selling a smart speaker soon. I believe they're releasing it with the Note 9. Oh, goody, they're releasing the Note 9. Who cares? But do their phones make their computers better? No, they don't. Do their computers make their watches better? No, they don't. Do their watches make their tablets better? No, they don't. There isn't that cohesive integration between every device. And there's no other real company to compare Apple to. So the reason Apple has been so successful and will remain successful is while they might piss people off like myself and yourself who go out of their way to learn about technology, learn about products, learn about software, learn about hardware, learn about this, learn about that. They might make us mad by saying everything's soldered to the motherboard, or nothing's upgradable, or it's $12,000 for this computer, it's $7,000 for this MacBook. It doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, what we are is not the majority. The majority are people who want something that's easy to use, works really well with stuff they already own, and the only way to get that whole experience is to have this shiny little Apple logo on the back of your either phone or computer or iPad. I do not believe it's on the back of the watch, but again, the only way to get that is to have the Apple logo. And I know that might seem silly. That might say, oh, this guy's just an Apple sheep. And okay, whatever. Yeah, I love Apple products. Why? Because they're easy to use, and they do just work. I don't have a lot of time to just be fiddling around downloading drivers. I love just opening a MacBook and just typing and it just working. Or opening a MacBook, having my watch unlock it, and it just works. There are a lot of things about Apple that just work, and people really do enjoy that experience. Again, iMessage, it's an exclusivity. It's something you can only get on an iPhone. That's why Apple's so successful. It's because everything they have is super exclusive. It's only available between iMacs, between MacBooks, between Apple Watches, between iPhones, between iPads. Super awesome experience. That's why Apple's reached the $1 trillion mark, and that's what makes them so successful. Amazon does a similar thing, actually. Look at their tablets and look at their smart speakers. Look at how well their smart speakers integrate with their main service, buying and selling stuff. That's what Amazon does really well. They purchase stuff at a discount, and then they sell it for a profit. That's what Amazon does, right? And every product they make supports that. Look at their Kindle tablets. I had a Kindle tablet. When you use that thing, all it does is promote you to buy stuff from Amazon. Prime, look at Prime. All Prime does is just promote you to buy stuff from Amazon. That's why Amazon's been so successful. That's why Apple's been so successful as well. So let me know you guys' thoughts about this in the comment section down below. I know I said I wasn't going to release a video today, but I was bored and I read that and I was pretty exciting and I was like, man, $1 trillion. So let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. Again, the normal upload schedule is Monday through Friday, sometime Saturday, and Sunday at 9 o'clock is the live stream, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been Scott with Techno Eclipse. And if you liked the video, consider subscribing, or Stitch is going to hunt after you. And he gave me a scratch right there one time. You see that? He'll do the same to you. But it'll be bigger. And there'll be more than just one. There'll be like 2. Alright, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. 223 subs. That's amazing. Peace out.